Lucifer, also known as Satan, leads these rebellious angels, who become evil spirits, an army of darkness. Satanism is the practice of worshiping or venerating Satan. This usually involves a written agreement in blood. Somewhat like this:
Satan, from now on, I am yours in life, in death, and after death.
Lucifer has been cast down into the realm of death, becoming the ruler over death. His primary work is being the murderer of humans and the father of lies. This is the nature of Lucifer and his followers. Now, he constantly seeks to kill believers through oppression, wickedness, and deceitful spirits, promoting the teachings of demons. He works to instigate disobedience, transgressions, and sins within humans, leading to spiritual death. The number of angels who rebelled with Lucifer is 1/3 of the total number of angels originally created by God. If the obedient angels are countless, so too are the rebellious ones. Lucifer, also known as Satan, leads these rebellious angels, who become evil spirits, an army of darkness. The sins of rebellious angels parallel those who openly or implicitly follow Satanic teachings. Both angels and humans who align with Satan base their existence on 3 principles: doing as they please without obeying God's laws, refusing to submit to anyone, and considering themselves gods. In contrast to the demons, angels possess humility, granting them the freedom to choose eternal joy derived from God, the Creator. They choose to remain faithful to their nature and purpose, glorifying God forever through simple yet courageous acts, humbling themselves and thereby freeing themselves from pride. They embrace obedience to God as a form of loyalty to the Creator and His plan. Through these actions, angels fully adopt their nature and purpose, displaying loyalty to truth. Like us, they were created by God to love Him eternally. This attitude is not a form of degradation, but a reflection of their completeness. Angels remain faithful to their nature, directly referencing God, the Creator, who has written the best laws for them in creation, designed for their own good. Their activities solely revolve around praising God forever and obeying His every command. The events among the angels are recounted in the 12th chapter of the book of Revelation. A great war between the angels loyal to God and those who rebelled, a conflict between angels and demons. In this section, the Bible tells us that Archangel Michael leads the loyal angels, while the dragon leads the rebellious angels and is defeated. The consequence is that there was no longer any place for them in heaven. Revelation 12:8. Satanism is the practice of worshiping or venerating Satan. It is crucial to emphasize that Satanists and Satanism indeed exist. They are not merely products of Hollywood imagination. Satanism is the actual practice of Satan worship, and not just a Hollywood director's imagination. Specifically, a Satanist is someone who consciously decides to consecrate themselves, meaning to dedicate themselves through ritual to Satan and join a sect. These cases are relatively rare. We are talking about thousands of people, not millions. Despite their small numbers, they pose a significant danger to souls. These individuals, living sinful lives, exclusively orient themselves towards their own desires, earnestly following the teachings of the Prince of Darkness. Generally, one can distinguish between personal Satanism or occultism and non-personal or rationalistic Satanism. The former acknowledges the personal nature of Satan, with followers pleading, worshiping, and honoring him as a deity. The latter, non-personal or rationalistic Satanism, does not believe in the personal nature of Satan in a metaphysical sense. They see Satan as a cosmic energy present in every human and the world, emerging in all its power to carry out the most absurd and cruel acts. always linked to esoteric rituals. What is their goal? Satanists aim to propagate this corrupt form of worship through the dissemination of theories and practices based on three fundamental principles. You can do whatever you want. No one has the right to rule over you, and you are your own God. The first principle grants complete freedom to adherents in everything they wish to do without limitations. The second principle advocates freedom from authority, freeing individuals from obligations to obey parents, the church, the state, and anyone imposing restrictions in the name of the common good. The third principle denies all truths that come directly from God: heaven, hell, judgment, the Ten Commandments, church commandments, and so on. Visually, these principles are alluring, especially to the youth, as they deceive them into thinking that life is a beautiful vacation in a fantasy playground, where everything is allowed, and self-acknowledges no boundaries in terms of pleasure and enjoyment. Since baptized Christians are often referred to as children of God, can Satanists be considered children of Satan? For them, this is unacceptable. Satan does not desire siblings or friends, let alone children. Satan only wants slaves, whom he acquires with promises of guaranteed and limitless pleasures. And this forms the basis of Satanism itself. How can someone become a Satanist? Through a ritual consecration to Satan. An individual surrenders themselves to Satan with body and soul, seeking acceptance among his followers, and thus enters the sect. This usually involves a written agreement in blood, somewhat like this.
Satan, from now on, I am yours in life, in death, and after death. Accept me as your sacrifice. I give my body and soul to you, and I will do what you desire and command, but give me pleasure, success, sex, and wealth.
Typically, this consecration occurs during a collective rite, often with a black mass, where someone is initiated into the sect and Satan's practices. Blood contracts can also be done individually, like religious oaths spoken publicly in the presence of a group of worshippers, usually during communal celebrations or privately, and singularly in secret before God. All these cases involve a genuine and true selling of the soul to the devil, who fulfills his tragic promises, but never delivers happiness, only immeasurable suffering. In other words, being consecrated to Satan guarantees a life pure as hell on earth and eternal damnation in the afterlife. These individuals never find peace and leave behind traces of sorrow, loneliness, and death.